Welcome to the Book Report, hosted by Tyler Booker, University of Alabama, All SEC, All America candidate. I'm AP Stedham, multimedia personality from LA, Lower Alabama. T-Book, New Haven in the house.
Yes, sir. How we doing, AP?
And we're doing great, man. Another fabulous weekend, man. That smile can't be any bigger, can it, T-Book?
If it could, I don't, I don't know how it would be, but you brought up New Haven in the house. It's great to it was great to go out and get a win for sure as a team goal, but just be able to play against my younger brother Ellis Robinson, another New Haven, Connecticut product. So just to be able to share the field with him was great. It's really a dream come true and something that we've talked about since we were kids. So just to see the support that we've gotten from everyone in New Haven, and also supporting and shouting out all the other football players, Division I football players from New Haven, Connecticut, is just really special to see the level of support that we get from everyone back home.
What a moment. I saw that photo y'all took at the end of the game. So that was when you first had a chance to speak. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's the first time I saw him. That was the first time I saw him in a while. I think the last time I saw him was probably spring. It might have been around spring break or sometime in May. That was the last time I saw Ellis. And we're really close to be able to see him. It was great. He seems really happy, and I'm happy for him that he's enjoying it, and very proud of how far he's gone to this point.
You had the chance to visit with both y'all's families at the end of the game, after the game, T-Book?
Yes, I did. So I pretty much had a little get together. So I had a bunch of people in town. So we catered some food from a local establishment in Tuscaloosa called Flavors. So the food was great, and it was a bunch of my family, Ellis's parents, and then some of our mutual friends from New Haven, Connecticut as well. So it was great having everybody over, and it was definitely a night to remember. We all had a great time.
Yeah, it's a historical moment for the City, New Haven. Sure is. Most definitely. T-Book, that atmosphere, a lot of big games, played in the Rose Bowl. What was the atmosphere Saturday night versus Georgia?
It was great. It was almost movie-like. The things that you see in movies is what happened in Bryant-Denny. The constant the love and support I got from everyone, the love and support we got from everyone was just unmatched. And I shot the fans out earlier, and I'll shout them out again. Shout out to the fans and everybody who was there supporting in person, on the TV, or from home watching it on TV, from wherever you were watching, because we definitely felt that support. We definitely felt that love, and it means a lot. And it's very hard for a team to go on the road and compete, especially at a place like Bryant-Denny Stadium, just because of how loud the fans are. And that's something that you really have to practice for. That's something that, like, accounting for the noise, that's something that takes time away from other things that you have to practice on. And that's something that's just always in the back of your head. So to be able to really use the home field advantage to our advantage was huge for us.
T-Book, you started the game. You had a big lead on them. I think it was 30-7 at halftime. Just your emotions. You had command of the ball game at halftime. What were you thinking?
We were thinking that we had to finish, and that was it. We knew the job was done. We knew that Georgia was a great football team, and we knew that they had the potential to come back. They actually did end up coming back, but we found a way to win, and that's something that we're going to hammer home all week as we go into practice, as we go into meetings, lifts, everything we do. We have to make sure that we finish, because we finished the game like we should have, but there's no way that should have been a 7-point game when it started off as, like you said, a 23-point game at halftime.
Right. So what was the exact message at halftime, or some of the things you may be able to share?
Go finish. Really go finish, and that we still haven't hit our best yet. Like even in the first half, even though we were up 23 points, we left a lot of points on the board, whether it was We had an interception right before halftime. We had 2 drives that ended up stalling out. I think we had to settle for 3 at one point. So we just got to finish drives. We have to finish drives. And the thing that's so special about our offense is I may seem a little bit very critical of us, and I'm always going to be very critical of my teammates and I, because I always want to hold us to the highest standard possible. But at the end of the day, we scored 41 points on a team that had not allowed a touchdown since 2020, since last year. So you have to really, you have to be proud of ourselves, one, but two, understand there's a lot more for us to go, a lot further for us to go, and the sky's the limit for this group. And I'm very excited to continue to create holes and block and whatever the team needs in order for us to put up even more points every week.
You booked nearly 200 yards rushing. I know that had to be a surprise. I mean, I know you feel confident about your abilities in the offensive line as a unit, but to rush against that team for almost 200 yards, that had to be maybe one of your better days as a unit since you've been there at Alabama.
Definitely. I think it's definitely one of the best games I've had since the best games we've had as a unit since I've been here at the University of Alabama. To be able to rush for, I think it was 173 yards exactly. That was it's great. It's hard to run the ball in the SEC for sure, but it's definitely hard to run the ball against a team like Georgia. Like I said, they hadn't allowed a touchdown yet until they played us this year. So to go out and compete at a high level against teams that play at a high level, that's what you come to Alabama for. That's why you play football in the SEC, to play against the best and be the best against the best.
T-Book, on the sideline, you have the offense, the defense. What is the communication level between the offense and the defense?
There's not a ton of communication, but we're always encouraging each other. We're always praising each other. We're always saying, like, great job, like let's go score. Or if it's not that, like, hey, we got y'all. And the defense the same way. Like, if we stall out, if we have a 3-0, the defense will be like, hey, be ready. We're going to get y'all that ball back. Or if the defense lets up a touchdown, be like, hey, we're going to get that touchdown back. Be ready. We're going to get that touchdown back fast. Be ready. So it's constant encouragement, constant positive reinforcement, constant motivation whenever we're passing each other, especially after a turnover. It's electric. And that's another thing about Bryant-Denny Stadium. Whenever there's a turnover, the crowd went crazy. I believe it was Jahad's interception. The crowd went wild. It was absolutely insane. Like, we couldn't even hear the play call yet because it was that loud. So, man, it was great. And there was a few times where the excitement from the defensive drive carried over into the next drive. So I had to put my hands down and be like, hey, like, look, we gotta be able to hear. I had to quiet the fans down a little bit, but man, it's always better to have to quiet the fans down than to rile them up, you know?
Yes. You had to do a little bit of coaching with the fans. I see. I understand. Hey, T-Book, what's happening in the huddle when you're behind late in the ball game? What's being said, and how are you focusing in on? This is it. This is our moment. We do it now, or it doesn't happen for.
So prior to that drive, we just kept saying to ourselves, you got to love it. Like, you have to love football in order to be in these moments. Like, you hit like if you really love football, these are the moments that you live for. These are the moments that you play for. These are the moments that you work so hard for in January, February, March, April, May, all the way up into the season. These are the moments that you work for. These are the reasons why you strain for moments like these. So we said that on the sideline, but as we went on the field, we just kept preaching and praising 1-0. What we mean by that, no matter how the play before went, whether it went positively or negatively, you have to go 1-0 on the next play. That means just win your one-on-one rep every play, one rep at a time.
Mm-hmm. T-Book, when you're on the field in the offensive line, it's on a third down play, you can see the blitzes coming. Did you feel this was maybe one of the better games? The communication level was at its best.
Oh, for sure. I definitely think our communication level was our best, and that's not due to it just because we were playing Georgia and they ran a lot of blitzes. It's just us getting used to each other as a group. And this is really the only second game that we've played together as that this group has played together, with Caden Proctor at left tackle, me at left guard, Parker at center, Jaden Roberts at right guard, and Elijah Pritchett at right tackle. This is only the second game that we've all played together. So as we continue to build that continuity within the line, the better we'll be throughout the season.
Mm-hmm. T-Buck, first time you saw Ryan Williams in a practice, what were some of your observations?
I was just like, hey man, he's special. Like he's special. And the thing is, I would see it. I would glance over at 7-on-7 and see him make a huge play, and then he would make the same play during the team periods. And I know I don't see everything, and I know it's hard for me to judge how a wide receiver is doing as a lineman. But I would go ask some of the vets, the veteran wide receivers, and even some of the veteran DBs, and they're like, "No, Book, he's the real deal," and he definitely lived up to what they said he was, and then some. So I'm very proud of him. I'm very glad to have him on our team. He made a bunch of big plays for us this weekend.
T-Buck, what do you tell some of those freshmen? I mean, you were a freshman. You played quite a bit in and out on the rotation. What did you try to tell the freshmen before the season? And then also, if you can expound on, what did you tell them maybe about this game, playing this type of atmosphere?
So before the season, I tell the freshmen, I tell every freshman this, no matter, like, I tell every single freshman this, whether they get here in January or the fall, just prepare as if you're the starter this week. Even not even a freshman, the people who aren't playing, prepare as if you're starting this week. So when your name is called, you'll be ready. It won't be a surprise. That's what allowed me to get in the rotation, and that's what allowed me to play as much as I did, as early as I did, because I never in my mind thought that, okay, I'm just gonna come to this game and watch Javion and Emil play the whole game. Like, no, I'm here for a reason. I'm gonna play. I didn't put all these pads on for nothing. I didn't put all these pads on for the pictures. Like, I was ready to play. I wanted to play. I was ready to play. And so I just had to go out and prove that by preparing like a starter, conducting myself as a starter on and off the field. That allowed it a lot easier for my coaches to play me, along with me playing as if I was playing like a starter.
Mm-hmm. What are some of those other freshmen you'd like to point out that contributed to the win on Saturday? Of course, Brown, the defensive back.
That was going to be my next one, Xavier Brown. And there's a bunch on defense that play a lot. Red Morgan had a really good game. Jalen Mbakwe had a really good game. Who else? I'm sorry if I'm missing some, but all the freshmen this year they're different AP, and that's just due to them being sponges. They all want to learn. They're all trying to figure out how they can be the best. They're all trying to figure out what makes what sets people apart from others, and they're all on that same page. So I'm very proud of them. I'm excited to continue to see how they grow through this year and then next year and all the years after that.
Mm-hmm. Jalen Milroe, he's come a long way, being benched in the South Florida game. So what was his message to the team before the game and throughout the game and some of those critical moments, especially when you were behind?
Play Alabama football. That's what Jalen told us. Just like go beat us. Like, this game was not about Georgia. It was not about Alabama playing. It was not about, we got to play Kirby Smart. We got to play Georgia. Like, no, we have to go out and play Alabama football. Point blank, period. Like, we have to go and beat us. As long as we do what we're supposed to do at the highest level, as long as we do our job, we will come out victorious, because we know that nobody works as hard as us. Nobody invests more into our bodies as us. Nobody sacrifices like us. So we've just worked too hard and it's something else that we like to say. We've come too far just to come this far. So as long as we do what we've been trained to do, we'll come out victorious.
Yeah, I think if you have that standard, it really clears away the clutter. You're not thinking about facing maybe an All-American defensive tackle across from you, or some linebacker, or some hotshot defensive back, or some very good quarterback. You're really just saying, okay, we have our standard. That's all we need to try to reach in the ball game. And it kind of, in the sense, I think it relaxes you, really.
It definitely does, because if you're looking at the guy that you're playing against, if you're looking at his stats the whole week and how he's going to be this first round pick, how he's going to be this, how he's going to be that, it's going to kind of psych you out of your game. It could possibly psych you out of your game. Well, I see that as a challenge, and I see that as iron sharpens iron. Like, I'm gonna create value for myself this weekend by playing this high level person, but not even going that deep into who the person is. Really more the scheme, because there's so many packages and formations that defenses have.
Yes,
I don't know which defender I'm going to see on which play, so you have to prepare for a multitude of defenders. So,
right.
Just knowing that if I win my one-on-one battle, I'm going to give my team a better chance to win. That's the
Right.
biggest thing. If I win, when I win my one-on-one battle, I'm giving my team a better chance to win.
Hey, T-Book, we're going to take a few messages, but let people know about your website, multifaceted website. It has a vision of you as a businessman, as an athlete, as a student. Let everybody know.
Yes. Please go check out my website, www.iamtylerbooker.com. You'll be able to find out more about me as a person, be able to find out where I come from, and you'll also be able to purchase some merchandise of mine. So go ahead and check it out.
And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the Book Report with Tyler Booker, T-Book, University of Alabama, All-SEC, All-American candidate. I'm AP Stedham, multimedia personality from LA, Lower Alabama. T-Book, New Haven in the house, double on Saturday.
Hey, yes, sir. Double. Yeah, how you doing? It's great to be back. Let's get to it.
Yeah, doing good. Hey, T-Book, I have to ask you, when you go to the classroom after a big ball game, what is the reception?
It really depends on the class that I'm in. So some people that, believe it or not everybody is a gigantic football fan on campus, and sometimes I appreciate that. So this sociology class I'm about to go to now, not a lot of people. I bet they guessed that I play football, but not a lot of people have really come up to me about it as other classes. But there have been classes in the past where after a big game, I'll walk in and people actually clap, and I get a little bit embarrassed, but that's just what football means to us here at the University of Alabama.
Right. I'm sure you get some waves and shout outs when you're walking across campus as well.
Oh, for sure. And I love that. I love interacting with all my fellow students here at Alabama.
T-Book, what was the celebration at the end? Kind of just recap that, if you will, in the locker room and afterwards.
Oh, the celebration was great. It was great to get a win. We were all very happy. We all enjoyed it. We were all excited to come out victorious against a great Georgia team. Even though the game was closer than what it should have been, we still came out victorious, and that's why we have the 24-hour rule. You enjoy the win for 24 hours, but after 24 hours, you get to really go over the game and really prepare for the next opponent after that. But enjoy the win for 24 hours, then keep it pushing.
Right. Hey, T-Book, was that your best regular season game? I mean, as far as your satisfaction, the level of anticipation and what transpired and the national audience was watching, was that maybe the best regular season experience for you?
It might, yes. I'll say it's my favorite. I'll say it's my favorite regular season experience just due to how my family was here as well. Like, family is huge to me. And to have everybody be able to come here and enjoy the victory with me, that was the best part. Like we got home at like close to midnight because there's so many people in Tuscaloosa, and everybody was leaving the game at the same time. So AP, I parked at the facility before the game.
Yes.
And I lived 2 minutes away from the facility. It took me 25 minutes to get back. Yeah, so there was a lot of people in town. So we got back, enjoyed time with family, ate, laughed. So this was definitely my favorite regular season experience.
Oh, for sure. T-Book, you have a lot of friends across the country. You played with them as a teammate at IMG. You talk to them on a regular basis, and who are some of the, if you want to share that, who are some of your former teammates? And I'm sure people would like to know.
Of course, I talked to a good amount of my former teammates from IMG just because it's really, we say IMG is a brotherhood, but we really mean that when we say it, because we all come from different spots, different backgrounds, different states, and we all come together to put out one great product. Like, even in college, I know that I could commonly say that 75% of the team is from Alabama or Georgia, around that area. IMG, you got guys from, like myself, Connecticut, Florida, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, Michigan, California, guys literally all over the country. They come together and create one great product. And I was able to play against some of my IMG teammates this weekend. So I actually went against Warren Brinson. That's one of my closest friends for IMG. He and I, we went to war a few times during the game. Janelle Aguero, he's a safety for Georgia. Dalen Everett, he's a corner. Ellis, as you know, we didn't go to IMG together, but he's an IMG product. Sam and Pemba, he's from IMG. Who else? And Jazier Jackson. So Jazier Jackson, he actually used to be a basketball player, but he's transitioned into football. So it's great to see him there as well. He goes to Georgia now too. So it was great to see everyone.
Yeah, IMG, I mean, it's like a college football team at the high school level, as you described, people from everywhere. So I think it's really refreshing for you to get to learn about people from other parts of the country. I'm sure that was an experience you valued moving on to college. It made the transition easier for you. Is that the case?
For sure. IMG was a great experience, and I love my time there. Whenever I have the opportunity to go back to campus, I'll definitely go back because they're always adding and creating new things to help the athletes become better. And I'm just very grateful for my experience there. And I feel like IMG is a big part of the reason why I was able to play so early at the University of Alabama. Like you said, IMG is pretty much a college, and I would agree in saying that. And me being there for 3 years, I was already in college for essentially 3 years before I got to Alabama. So all the things that freshmen who go to regular public or even private high schools in their home state, I got those things out of the way, such as being homesick, not knowing being able to manage my time, being able to be responsible for myself. So a lot of things that some true freshmen had to go through, I didn't go through just because I had been at IMG for 3 years.
But you mentioned the time management. Can you give people an idea of your free time? I don't think it's very much. Can you give people an idea of maybe when you get up in the morning, when you might go to bed?
Yeah, so free time is very hard to come by, especially now. You have to really be able to manage your time, and it's really important that you manage your time to make sure that you're not falling behind on anything, to make sure you're not late to anything, to not make sure you're not missing anything. So you have to really make sure you know what you're doing, when you're doing it, and making sure you take advantage of all your time. So it's funny, I was thinking about this morning, like our all days are Monday, and that's probably my busiest day of the week. Because I wake up, I get treatment, I had to do I do a radio show in the morning, then I lift, then we watch film, then I have to get more treatment, a massage, a meeting, then I get on with UAP. After that, I have class, and then sometimes I have tutoring after class. So I have a full day on my off day. So yeah, you really just have to be able to manage your time. And I know since I don't have many football requirements on Monday, that's why I load most of the extracurricular things that I had to do. I do those on Monday.
How do you like that tutoring, T-Book? I mean, I remember going to school and we had that option as well. I mean, I really like that safety valve, if you would, that we can reach out to somebody that knows about the course.
Definitely, and the tutoring is huge here. It's very huge to get that help, to have that one-on-one help, because the teachers in college, they're teaching lecture halls full of people. So there's a chance that you send the teacher an email that they might not get back to you because they literally have 300 other students in the same course. Right. So having that tutor to be able to help you one-on-one and really give you a different perspective and actually help you understand what the teacher is looking for on a specific assignment, that definitely helps.
T-Book, next ball game, Vanderbilt, much improved Vanderbilt, by the way. Had you been to Nashville before?
I have not been to Nashville before, but I'm very excited to go this weekend. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and I know our fans are going to travel there well. So,
yeah, Vanderbilt. I mean, they're playing much better on offense. They have the transfer quarterback, Diego Pavia. He's put a lot of enthusiasm on that side of the ball, and they took Missouri, a really good football team, to double overtime. So I know the coaching staff, I'm sure they're emphasizing the Commodores. They can anchor down.
They sure can. I'm very excited to play against them. They're a great team, and they have a great scheme and as a whole. So they like to run the ball on offense to really limit your possession. So as an offense, we have to make sure that we take advantage of every possession that we get. Yeah,
you'll be going to Tennessee to play the Volunteers at Knoxville 2 times in the state of Tennessee. I mean, it's a it's a nice state, and they love their football. And I know it's a challenge to go up there and play on the road, and there'll be a lot of Alabama fans in Vanderbilt because, believe it or not, T-Book, I don't know if you're familiar with North Alabama. There's a lot of Tennessee fans and Vanderbilt fans up in North Alabama, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, the radio broadcasts come down that part of the state, so you'd be surprised that the people on this side of the border, they root for some of the Tennessee teams.
Wow.
They love football, and I mean they've drawn them in through the years, because they've had some good teams as well. But T-Book, give people an idea about your multifaceted website, if you would.
Yeah, you guys should definitely go check out my website, www.IamTylerbooker.com. You'll be able to find a lot of new information about me that people haven't seen before, and you'll also be able to check out and buy some of my merchandise. So y'all go check it out.
T-Book, what's the motivation now? Moving forward, you're going to be playing Vanderbilt. You got to go on the road to Tennessee, LSU. You have South Carolina, Missouri at home, Auburn at the end. What's the motivation now? You played a number of games. I think your team is presenting an identity to fans.
The motivation now is to get better. Like I said, we have a lot of potential on offense, but what does potential really mean if you don't live up to it? So I'm very excited to just continue to get better week by week and see a constant improvement. Something that Coach DeBoer preaches to us is we're on the relentless pursuit of continuous improvement. Like our best game should be our last one. Georgia will not be our best game.
Right.
Our best game will be our best. We're training to have our best game be against Vanderbilt, and after Vanderbilt, we want to be able to say Vanderbilt was our best game, and so on and so forth. Like we're always chasing to get better. Right.
T-Book, when do you receive your grades from the game? Is it Monday morning? When do you receive your grades, and how do you receive your grades? Is it just posted on the board? How is that?
We're a Tuesday through Sunday team, so we'll play on Saturday and have practice on Sunday. But practice will just be in helmets, and we'll watch film and get our grades actually on Sunday. So we're able to put the bed to game a lot faster. So you're not thinking about it all yes. Sunday. You're actually able to enjoy your off day, which is Monday. So we get our grades on Sunday.
Right. Were you happy with the grade this week, T-Book?
I was. It was fairly high. It was in the 90s, but I'm always chasing for 100. And will I ever achieve 100? Probably not. But that's the thing. That's the thing about football. You always something to chase for.
Right. Last couple of minutes here, T-Book. I know you anticipate a scenario or a situation. Everyone does. The fans, the players, the coaches. What came to life that you anticipated, and what was something maybe surprised you about Saturday night?
Something that came to life that I anticipated is us starting fast. We had a really, really, really great week of preparation, and the thing that let me know that we were going to start fast as a team is how our lift went. So we lift on Thursdays, and you would have thought that the Thursday lift that we had was a lift that would happen in January, February, or March, because that's when we really go after it in the weight room. And that's the vibe that I got on Thursday. So I was like, man, we're definitely going to start fast just due to this lift. Right.
Yeah. I spoke to somebody, Buck Belue, the former Georgia quarterback. One thing he commented about, he said, Georgia needs to start fast. And I was thinking about Buck. I said, Buck, that sure didn't happen tonight. He mentioned that too, because Georgia's kind of slow starting offensively, but they came back, and I knew that, as you mentioned, that Georgia, the championship caliber type team, that you were going to face some challenges down the road, but it all worked out in the end. And I think it was a spectacle for the whole United States, or people who love college football anyway, T-Book, to watch Alabama and Georgia battle that night. And it turned out to be probably a game for the ages, T-Book.
I agree. I was talking to my dad after the game. The first thing I said to him, I said, that's an SEC classic right there. And we started laughing. And as we got home later that night, we kept talking about it. Like, no, Dad, like this is going to be a game that people watch for years to come.
I think so, too. Hey, T-Book, we come to the end of the show. The Book Report. We'd like to thank everybody for listening, and we'll be back next week with The Book Report, hosted by Tyler Booker. T-Book. Thank you, T-Book.
Thank you. Have a good one, AP, and roll Tide.